Hey everyone, it's Erin with Hail Varsity. I'm joined by Greg, also of Hail Varsity, and we just wrapped up Nebraska's Tuesday practice return from spring break. Was back at it on a very windy, rainy, cold day, which actually went really well for the punters and kickers today.
Right, yeah, they were excited about that.
We were not so much.
No, it was an adventure, and we were only out there for what, a total of 4 minutes maybe?
Yeah, it was brutal getting into the stadium for post-practice. But like I said, it was great kicking weather for the punters and kickers. They actually were out in the elements today, just getting the hang, I guess, of like
right.
working in these conditions. And they kind of were saying that if you're punting 30-35 yards in these conditions, it's pretty good.
Yep.
So that's what they were working on. But we didn't just hear. We also heard from Bill Bush, so there was some special teams talk today, but we also heard from Mickey Joseph, Barrett Ruud, Omar Manning, Alante Brown, Garrett Taggy.
Grant Taggy.
Grant Taggy. Garrett Taggy. What is going on?
I said it too.
It's fine. It is a busy day, and we'll tell you why in a minute. But you had a chance to listen to Omar Manning, Mickey Joseph. What was sort of the vibe listening to them talk?
Yeah, coming from both of them, I thought a lot about how demanding Mickey Joseph is as a coach. And I asked Mickey specifically about, a lot of your players have said that so far in getting to work with you, and how do you build trust with those guys? And I thought he had a really good answer, which was a very simple answer of, they know that I can develop them, and that is what that trust comes from. So essentially, paraphrasing, they'll listen to what I have to say. I thought that was interesting because Omar Manning also said that, that Mickey Joseph has been a lot more, he's got on those guys a lot more in the time that they've been together as well. And I think that push is something that basically everyone on the team needs, but I think it's really good for the wide receiver group.
Mickey Joseph really does not mince words either. He's pretty clear, like when asked, did anyone stand out in the scrimmage before spring break? And the answer was no. They all just did their jobs. It does sound like there's quite a bit of competition in his room, but he is not ready to put any one player ahead of another. They are all still working at it. My favorite thing I learned today was Alante Brown told us about the 5,000 balls that they each had to catch during winter conditioning before spring ball started. That actually came from LSU. Mickey Joseph said he, at LSU between spring ball and fall camp, over those summer breaks, he wanted his players to catch 10,000 balls. So when he got here, he thought, we'll condense it to 5,000 because a smaller time frame. But he said everyone reached that goal and many surpassed it. Yeah. So they were out there with the machine that just tosses it for them and just catching balls one after another, just making sure that they're working on those fundamentals.
Yeah, but it's kind of a sneaky test though too, right? Like he said, to see if guys will work on their own and see how dedicated they are in the offseason to getting better. I wonder if he'll have a new challenge for them after spring ball.
Maybe they'll go to the 10,000.
Maybe.
But it'll be interesting because he did joke when I asked him about it. He was like, they didn't come up with that, because I was curious. Right. Alante wasn't super clear whose idea it was. And so I asked him, and he's like, they didn't come up with that. I did hear a little bit from Bill Bush, and he was really the one point I took away from it is he's really moving forward from where Nebraska's special teams have been in the past. He's pretty much like, we're full steam ahead, we're moving forward. It seems like that has been the general vibe through spring ball, is that what is in the past is in the past. They are moving forward, and they're all working. It sounds like there's even a competition at holder.
Okay.
It's pretty much like 4 different players are apparently all working to see who the holder would be. So there's really no spot that it seems like is safe for any one person. It's all up for grabs right now.
Yeah, and I think it's an important point though on the everyone seems to be moving forward from last year's. I think that is really healthy for this team. I think that it would be really easy to fall into the trap of thinking, we were so close last year. How many times last year did we hear about being close? You still hear a little bit of it, just a couple plays here and there need to change, but I think they're using that in a different way to know that their detail has to be better, right? It doesn't feel like they're dwelling on the past. They just want to move forward and show that they've learned from the past.
Yeah, and that's pretty consistent across the board. So I think the biggest takeaways I've had through spring ball so far is competition is everywhere. Not just at quarterback, although everyone is getting asked about the quarterbacks.
In roundabout ways, everyone gets asked.
How is that room shaping up? Who are you
catching passes from? Like that sort of thing.
I will say, Alante Brown, take from this what you will. He did, in order, mention Logan, Casey, and Chubba.
Okay.
just kidding. Don't read into that too much.
If you want to make it worse, Omar mentioned Casey and Chuba as two guys that he was, and so you never know.
You never know.
It's you know.
No, don't read too much into that. He was just mentioning. I know everyone's like, yeah, Aaron and Greg said this. No, he was just in his reference point to that was just that they don't know who they would be working with on any given day. That was Alonte's point. So they show up to practice, and that day they might be catching balls from Logan, they might be catching balls from Chuba. It could be Heinrich, it could be Casey. His point was ultimately like you have to spend time in the playbook, you have to spend time practicing because you don't know who the quarterback is going to be that's throwing balls to you when you show up to practice the next day. So
to that point, in the roundabout way, Mickey Joseph was asked about which quarterbacks were standing out and if they were building rapport with his receivers, and he said that at this point it's difficult to actually build that rapport because they're catching passes from 5 or 6 guys. So I think that goes really nicely with what Alonte was saying there, which is the reality that you don't really think about. Like with all of the competition, you can't breathe that same familiarity that you normally would get.
Competition everywhere, even at who's holding for the punter, like
right.
Everything, I guess. Well, who's snapping and who's holding
the kicker?
Yeah, my brain is just fried.
There's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening. Which, if you want to get caught up with everything from post-practice, we will have all of the videos posted here on our YouTube channel. We will also share them out on our Twitter account so you can get caught up, listen to what they have to say. I know so many of you like to hear Mickey Joseph talk directly, so you can go watch his full video right now on our YouTube channel. With that said, we will also have more from Pro Day when we're talking about how it's a very busy day. There is also Pro Day happening at Memorial Stadium. In fact, saw scouts walking into the building as we arrived.
They were getting wind blown too.
They were getting wind blown. Not great for recruiting visit. This isn't the recruiting visit day where you roll out the red carpet.
There is one right now.
That's where you build a shield for that person,
yes.
And you do not let them see the wind. But it is a big, exciting day. We will have plenty of Pro Day coverage as well, so you can just go over to you can head over to hailvarsity.com, head over to any of our social accounts, and we'll keep you updated as all of the former Huskers try to give it their best with all of these scouts in attendance. It's going to be exciting.
It is always an exciting day.
It is, but our brains are mush.
They are.
It's fine. Thank you as always for watching. We will be back on Thursday with even more from post-practice, but again, we'll have more from Pro Day later today, so go ahead, like, subscribe, just join us here on this channel. We appreciate you being here. We will talk to you later.